Detroit's own WHPR TV. Detroit Live. The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of W33BY, its affiliates, management, or sponsors.
May God bless you richly. May God bless you abundantly. I'd like to start off giving honor, giving recognition to the Almighty, to the Master of the day of requital in which fallen humanity now finds itself in judgment of. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to God for life, for light, for a portion of health, for a smidgen of sanity. As we look at Baltimore, as we look at the planet, as we look at Detroit, that's about all you can have, is a smidgen of sanity, but I'm grateful for it. I also want to thank God for R.J. Watkins, Henry Tyler, our great leadership here at this community TV station, but most of all, I want to thank God for you. We're honored that you would take time to tune in and to watch us. And it's never our intention to offend you or to hurt you, but to inspire us and to move us from voyeurism into community activism, community service. As Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, community service is the rent we pay for occupying space on this earth. And so anyway, we've got a great program. We're looking for Mayor Mike Duggan is coming. We have some of the relatives of Paige Stalker and Christina Samuel, who were murdered in December. The murderers are still out there, but there's a big march and a big rally against violence, against murder, against rape and all that's going on, that these two families that have come together are putting on. As well, we've got our good brothers from the Nation of Islam coming. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, a bad man. His Earth Day, it's his birthday. His Earth Day, his celebration of birth is coming up. And we want to honor, I certainly want to honor the man of God. I've said it 5,000 times. If I keep living, I'll say it more. To me, the baddest man on the planet is Farrakhan. We need to listen more. So we've got all that and more coming up tonight. But we are honored to have a living legend hero in our midst. You often hear me on this show, those of you who are regular viewers. You know, I distinguish the difference between the old school elected officials and the new. The new, God bless them, poor fellows, they try. Just lacking the oomph. But the old school politicians, the old school elected officials, overstand politics as horse trading. Okay, I'm going to help you with your constituency today, and tomorrow you help me with mine. We all take care of our people. It's enough for everybody. Win-win. People like Coleman Young, people like David S. Holmes Jr., people like Arthur Cartwright, people like Basil Brown.
Dave Holmes?
I ain't done praising you,
All
George.
right.
Give me a minute. Just a minute more. And in that line of those type of elected officials, those type of community servants who overstood that we have to bring something home. Excuse me, I'm battling a bad cold. Is James Del Rio, former state rep, former judge, always a supporter of justice, living legend hero, Judge James Del Rio. How you doing, brother?
Fine, brother. I'm a mortgage banker and a real estate broker. And I broke what they call it broke. I broke 1,000 neighborhoods in my life. Because I wanted to teach them that black people are just good people. We got good and bad in every group. But we should all stay around the arms of America. I went to Russia. I went to almost every country in the world to see how their courts were run. And they had good people in bed. And they said they were going to lynch me for doing that. So while I was sleeping one night, they came to the back door of my office and put a cross there. They said they're going to put that cross. And they lynched my ass, pardon me, my butt. They're going to lynch me within the hour. And so I then found they sell guns, and I bought a gun, and I put that 45 or 38, whatever it was, right here over my heart, where another person had been killed because they wouldn't let him out of where he was. And I kept that there ever since. I wear it almost daily, and it caused me a lot of trouble to wear something like that. I don't want to wear anything like that. I'd rather wear my badge like you got, which says Elect Del Rio to public office, because I'm supposed to do a public service, not grab all I can.
Right.
And just don't add up. So we had the Freedom Walk, and the Detroit News said there were 100,000 people in the march. The Free Press said 250,000 people, and we were locked arm in arm. And if you notice the picture, you notice I gave my left hand to who I gave it to, and my right hand to Martin Luther King. And we walked down with over 1 million people, black, white, blue, orange, who cared about America and who cared what happened to America. And from that day forward to this is my 91st birthday, 1/30/24.
Happy birthday, Judge.
Yeah,
it's wonderful.
And I said, longest day to Mother and Father Howell. We're at the St. Stephen's AME Baptist Church, or St. Stephen's Church. And I went around the world to find out, how do you other people feel about religion and about heaven and hell? Where you gonna go when you over? Because you have to meet the master one way or the other. You would either meet him here, or maybe you just go straight to hell. That's where you want to go. Go on. I'm not going with you. I'm going to honor his name, no matter what happens. I'm going to honor his name. I don't need no list of things to say. That's the way I feel about it then. That's the way I feel about it now. And I thank you for having me on your show, your program.
Anytime. You know that.
Yeah.
You know that.
I thank you, because your mama is a good lady.
She is.
She's a good woman.
She's a great woman.
And she remembers all those things that other people want to forget. Only we didn't forget them. And I said several things about people who said this was this time, this was that time. But she remembers, and I remember just exactly what happened at the time.
Yes.
And if Obama or Met Obama or anybody else wants to refer to that, we're living legends. that it happened the way Mama said it happened.
Right.
And I don't care if they want me to NAACP, then I'm coming with her. And I'm sitting at her table. If they don't like it, they can lump it.
That's
what
right.
we used to say.
That's right.
If they don't like it, they can lump it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Your mama was right, and so was I. We lived it. We know what happened at that time.
Right.
You don't have to give me no little list to tell me what to say. We were there, and it happened. And I went to her house the other day, walked upstairs, and almost tripped over places to have a seat in her house to honor her. Because what the other folks don't choose to remember, she and I, we both remember.
That's right.
And she's a good woman.
She is. She's a great woman. Brilliant.
I know she has all her grandchildren and whatnot, who, some of whom may forgot her, or some of whom may not know her.
Mm-hmm.
But she's one of the few women in this world whom I will hope to see in the heaven if I go.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you. Did you get everything out you wanted to get out?
Yeah, I ain't got nothing else to say.
Well, before we close out this segment, talking old school, tell people about your good friend, David S. Holmes Jr.
Well, Dave Holmes.
And the type of man and the type of elected official that he was. And when people like you and him and Basil and Cartwright, you know, you old school warriors were in Lansing, what's being done to us now,
yeah,
they might think about it, but they wouldn't try. Talk to us about Dave Holmes.
Dave Holmes, when I got to the legislature, Dave said, now I'm going to teach you what legislating is all about. He said, you just follow my lead. Mm-hmm. And we had an old guy across the aisle from us. I don't know, he was from suburbia or somewhere. And I said to him, I said, well, what do you mean we ought to get jobs? We got jobs. When I was a very young man, I said, I went and sponsored by the Urban League, I went and took a job in the foundry, out of the Ford Motor Company in the foundry, where you shovel coal in as hot as heck. I won't say what it is, it's hot as heck. And I said, it happened to be a dark man, but he took my sandwich, took the sandwich away from me. And I said, give him my sandwich back. And he said, no, I'll knock your head off. So he hit me with a right, or he tried to hit me right, blocked him. And I come across with the right hand and hit him on his jaw, broke two of his teeth, and put his face out of order. And they took him to the hospital. And you know,
Hold on a minute, Judge. I think the CEO, R.J. Watkins, wants to come up here and join us.
I just want to say, this is one of the greatest, Malik.
Yes.
One of the greatest men in my life. A true friend. A true friend. If you have Judge del Rio for a friend, you have a true friend for life.
I grew up sitting on his lap.
True friend.
I was small then, if you can believe it or not.
Yeah, he was.
And I just wanted to say thank you, sir. And you have been a real friend. I love you. I love you forever. And this is your TV station. Whenever you want to come by, just stop by and say hi.
I'll be back, because I haven't been here in 30 years now. It's been 30 years ago since I've been in the station. I remember when they wouldn't let us in here to say anything to anybody.
We love you, Judge. We love you. I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to.
Oh, you know, you good, RJ. I roll with you, brother. Now, while you're here, tell everybody about Mother's Day and Billy Paul.
Mother's Day, May 9th and 10th. Award-winning show for mothers. Billy Paul, Mrs. Jones, Ebony Woman. Dinner, Sunday. Don't miss it. Please be there. Fundraiser for TV 33 WHPR.
Well, my grandmother and aunt is going to be there.
Okay.
Like I told you, Billy Paul, no offense, he ain't my thing. Now, I remember me and Mrs. Jones. I was little, and they would say, don't you sing that song. When they go out the room, we sing it anyway. You know, we got a thing going on. We both know that it's wrong, but it's much too strong.
Oh, you know about that, Jones. See, you know about
that song. But I'm going to make sure my grandmother, Avis Holmes, and my aunt are there for dinner and concert and enjoy them and support you.
And they're going to get an award, and we're going to do the paparazzi.
That's a blessing.
And TV interviews and all that.
That's a blessing.
But get back to your interview.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jay. That want to remind you all that's this Saturday and this Sunday. Now, if you want to join my grandmama, and I'm just so grateful to God to still have her. 88 years old, still running Detroit nonprofit housing, helping people whose mortgage lenders, not property tax, but mortgage lenders, is trying to run them out of their home, helping them to stay in their homes for free. I'm blessed to still have her. You know, my big mama, Patty, her sister, my big mama, you know, she died. So so we've been dealing with that, you know, but I'm blessed to have my Mom Avis. She still drive a Cadillac. Go to work every day. You know, cook when she want, and put on dresses and diamonds and pearls and look good at 88. I'm blessed, Victor. That's right. God is good, and we're blessed to have people like you, Judge. Well, and we, Victor, we are sitting on and following in you and George Crockett and other great heroes and sheroes who sacrificed, who was told, Negro, go home, who was told, excuse my language, nigger, don't you even think about coming in here.
They wouldn't let George Crockett's son pass the California bar. Every time he took it, he failed. He passed every time, but he failed. So he came back to Michigan, where he was wanted. It was easy for him to be George Crockett's son in the legislature. And George was leading a whole list of us down the court. And it's just something to behold, to see where we come. And see some people who take advantage of it now. Just take advantage of it now. The fact that they can go to law school, the fact that they can go to church. C.L. Franklin, Aretha, I sat right in their pulpit, and I wouldn't take anything for being there. Another lady said, I've known that young man since he was 5 years, about 9 or 10 years old. And he belonged to St. Amy Zion Church. And his mama brought him there every Sunday morning he was in church. And I've been still that way every Sunday morning. Whether they take me by bus or car or any other, I'm in church praising the Lord.
Amen. Amen.
Praising the Lord.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. And one last thing, Judge, before we close the segment, I want to let people know, and you stop me if I'm wrong, you passed 6 laws while you were in Lansing. Am I right? Is it 6?
Yes.
Okay. Well, see, you taught me well.
Not only that, I passed the time bill, which changed the time of Detroit to California time. And there's 3 hours difference right now. And they wanted to run me out and kill me for doing that. But, you know, I felt there's something that should be done. So I was the only rep that voted for that bill. And Dave said, they're going to get you. I said, yeah, Dave, I know. You my mentor, so I not only mentored others, but you my mentor. And the other guy over in the corner there, he'd get up and he'd say what they wanted him to say. And the big-bellied guy who came from Jimmy Hoffa, I think, or somebody. He came in and he said, well, what you gonna do? I said, I ain't gonna do nothing. But you can't tell me who the hell to vote for. I vote for black people, and the fact that we want to go the other way doesn't mean we're bad people. He said, well, you invited to my table. I said, yeah, I'll be there. I said, but don't expect me to vote your way just because you allow me to be at your table. That don't honor me that much. It honor me some, but it don't honor me that much. And then there's Polish folks, and I used to have Polish folks deliver the paper to my house. I said, and they didn't mention your name when they delivered the paper. And I understand a lot of them don't like us.
Yes. They don't.
Yeah, but in no sense in trying to prove that they do, because they don't. But we're going to get together as a people, and we will make out in this world, and we will show other people that we know how to do.
That's right.
We know how to do.
That's right. Well, we want to thank you, Judge. And you know, always come whenever you want. You know that.
I'm
Just show up. You've earned it.
My adopted son and brought me by, and I'm so glad he brought me by.
We're glad
Eddie
that
Burston,
he did. Come by anytime.
All right.
But listen, I got to close this segment, but I don't want you to leave if you could stay. The mayor is coming, and I want you to meet him.
Well,
he needs to meet you.
Well, you think so?
I know so. Are you kidding?
All right.
No, he needs to get some of that old school wisdom that you got.
Well,
for those just tuning in, this is James Del Rio, the world-renowned James Del Rio.
Judge Del Rio.
Judge Del Rio. And when he was a state legislator, he got 6 laws created. Now, let us find out from our current legislators how many laws
have they passed.
He did 6. And a whole host of other things. J. Rue Campbell, the reason why he's not in prison, my granddaddy, David S. Holmes Jr., created a law which allows for young folks who are in trouble, if you go on and get in school and pass drug and blah, 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 and train, we won't put you in prison, So that's why he and a whole lot of others. I look on TV, Keela was pointing out to me the other day, it was some white boys getting sentenced under the Holmes Youthful Trainee Act. So it's important, y'all, to honor the road, Bussy, that brought us here.
That's right.
Because we're not here of our own. There were great heroes and sheroes. Even I got the brothers in the nation, and we're going to be talking about Farrakhan shortly. But even in the founding of the Nation of Islam, the founders with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, they caught hell. They were harassed. They were put in jail. They were threatened. They were beat up by cops. White folks attacking them. Mosques have been attacked. And, of course, the brothers defended themselves. But I'm saying that people have been through hell is what I'm saying.
Well, you know,
and not for us to lollygag and pussyfoot
around.
Today, we're standing on the shoulders of giants, and we got to know it. We got to know it. So I'm going to join my brother Victor and others tomorrow over there in Evergreen, where the brother was shot by the police. I'm going to join them for justice. One, for justice. Because if this is wrong, if it's a dirty kill, then damn it, we want justice. If it's clean, then it's just an unfortunate thing. But if it's dirty, we want justice. But we want to teach our people to build. We see the fruit of Islam in Baltimore. Have you seen them on the streets? Stopping the violence as best they can. That's to be applauded. well, Victor, we need to stop the violence here before it blows up.
Yeah.
Because all the ingredients of Baltimore Ferguson is right here. So we got extra duty now to stop that. But I want to thank you, Judge, and we love you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Don't turn from this dial. We'll be right back momentarily. I appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
You know this.
You're watching Detroit's own WHPR TV. Detroit Live.